Today we watch catching in Gen 1 is really confusing.
Started as a small game made by a small team. That team was still struggling with Game Boy development when it released the first games in the series, Pokemon Red and Green.
There's 5? Okay, I'm gonna dunk on Pokemon Red and Blue for being like poorly made games, even though they are, because 5 people programmed it.
Those games were full of glitches.
True.
And most systems' inner workings were unclear.
Also
the best
true.
example are the catching mechanics.
Let's learn.
Mostly hidden, and don't seem to make sense at all.
Just
on the
witchcraft,
programming side,
basically.
They are easy to read. They consist of a lot of conditions put back to back. But there is a reason why the subsequent games quickly moved away from that system.
They have an algorithm in the next games.
And relied on a mathematical formula instead. While a formula is harder to read, both tweaking each element and testing results are easier.
Jesus, this looks like when I used to program things, and I was really bad at programming. I was just like, if this, do this, if this, do this, if this, do this.
Stack of conditions brings in a ton of unforeseen consequences and hard to control elements. Like what, for example? To know, we need to dig in and take a closer look at the catching mechanics in Pokemon Gen 1.
It's gonna be an absolute disaster. I can't wait.
Unforeseen consequence. Becoming a patron. It allows you full access to behind the scenes, vote on the next content I make, and even a mention in a video.
Become a patron.
In small committee, right? But anyone is...
Oh my god, sincere thanks to the patron. What an absolute hero. Uncaught cursor. We love this person. What an absolute hero.
Please consider it if you enjoy this video.
Join their patron.
There is one core number when it comes to capturing Pokemon, the catch rate. Its values goes up to 255, and the higher the catch rate, the easier the Pokemon is to capture. As you have probably guessed, rare Pokemon tend to have a low catch rate. This number is fixed per Pokemon species and is not a factor you can directly modify.
It's interesting that the catch rate hasn't changed throughout the entirety of the Pokemon franchise. Pokemon nowadays still have catch rates, and we can tell what the catch rate of a Pokemon is going to be beforehand because box art legendaries that are easier usually have 45. Really hard legendaries always have 3. For some reason, Beldum has 3, even though it's a pseudo-legendary, but none of the other pseudo-legendaries have 3. Doesn't make any sense. They just randomly assigned it the hardest to catch rate for some god-awful reason.
There are 3 other factors you have an influence on though, and those will change your chances of a successful capture.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it is the health points, the status, and the ball that you use. That's my guess.
The Pokemon's current status, its HP, and which ball you use.
Woo!
But not all factors are created equal, because there is one that influences the other 2 significantly. The ball used. Let me show you with statuses. These status effects in Pokemon are separated in 2 tiers.
Yeah, because sleep gives you a higher status than paralysis and poison does.
The first one regroups sleep and free, and the second, poison, paralysis, and burn. The impact
which makes sense, right?
Is a flat increase on your catch rate, and depends, like I mentioned, on your ball. Now, this system is fine and makes sense. The issue here is that status effects are too good.
They're too strong.
If you use sleep, you can get an increase to up to 21% when using an Ultra Ball.
It's pretty good.
This is a flat catch chance increase applied to every single Pokemon in the game.
I wonder if it's going to be like a numeric overload effect where the number gets so high that it reverts back down to 0 and actually makes it worse or even impossible to catch a Pokemon in a certain way because you've made the catch chance so high. I don't know if it'll do that in this game, but I've seen it happen in other video games.
I get that a sleeping
it like
Pokemon
reverts, it goes around, it's circular.
But this removes the need for any kind of strategy. Just put the Pokemon to sleep, and you immediately get a 1 out of 5 chance to capture. But before celebrating too early, we should take a look at hit points. On its own, lowering a Pokemon's HP does nothing. It is only when combined with balls that the system has an impact. See,
I'm gonna need an explanation on this.
Every ball has an HP threshold.
Okay.
For the Pokeball and the Ultra Ball, that threshold is around 1/3, whereas the Great Ball's threshold is around half.
What?
Lowering a Pokemon's hit points will increase your catch chance.
Okay. Okay.
until you hit the threshold.
Right, so if you have an Ultra Ball, it caps out at 1/3. So there's no point in lowering it if it's already at 1/3. You don't need to lower it anymore. Okay.
Once you are past it, damage dealt has no impact whatsoever. If you ever try to get
That's
a
really
Pokemon's
weird.
health to the lowest possible amount, well,
You don't need to.
you were wasting your time and taking unnecessary risks.
Damn it, I knew it.
The third and most
Could've been
important factor,
doing something
the
better with
ball
that time.
used, is
Like
the
cooking.
main reason why
Math.
Gen 1's catching mechanics are so confusing. The moment you throw a ball, a random number is generated, which will
69.
be used
Damn,
in
sorry.
all calculations moving forward. That number is between 0 and 255 for a Pokeball, 200 for a Great Ball, and
Okay.
150 for an Ultra Ball.
That's weird.
This seems to make sense. The Pokeball is worse than the Great Ball, which
Sure.
is worse than the Ultra Ball. Well,
Right.
for starters, if you try to capture a Pokemon with a catch rate higher than your ball number, you don't get an extra benefit.
What? So if you use an Ultra Ball on a Pidgey, it doesn't give you an extra benefit? That's so
For
weird.
calculations, the catch rate is capped at the ball number.
That's
meaning
so
if you
strange.
use an Ultra Ball to catch common Pokemon, you are just wasting money.
Oh my God, that's
there
so
is
weird.
a specific number used in the HP formula, the ball modifier. That number is 8 for every ball, except for the Great Ball, where it is 12.
Why did they
But
program
what
it like
does that
that?
change? Well, it is the reason the Great Ball's HP threshold occurs earlier. And
Okay.
more importantly, it means that the HP factor for the Great Ball is 33% stronger than any other ball.
The
making
Great
it
Ball is
stronger
better than the
other
Ultra
balls
Ball?
by design.
That's so weird.
And finally, we get to randomness.
Haha,
Due
XD.
to a weird mix of developer oversight and technical limitations, the numbers randomly generated are only random most of the time, which
Okay.
leads to some strange interactions that are the final nail in the coffin for the Gen 1 catching mechanic. The Pokeballs are perfect.
I don't know about perfect. They are pretty wank. You ever tried to get a Moltres in a Pokeball before? Yeah, good luck, mate.
They always
There are those weirdos out there that try and catch every Pokemon and every legendary to Pokeball. You know I'm talking about you if you're out there.
work as intended. They suck, but purposefully so.
Okay, they suck
Great
on
Balls
purpose.
underperform very slightly for high catch rate Pokemon, but overperforms for low catch rate Pokemon.
That's so
The
strange.
Ultra Balls underperform significantly at high HP, but compensate by overperforming at low HP.
Okay, so
They are
the Ultra Ball is still kind of what you want unless you're catching something that's pretty easy to catch already.
also worse than Pokeballs for high catch rate Pokemon.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's
really.
really weird. If you want to catch a Pidgey, don't use an Ultra Ball. It sucks.
Before we get to the ultimate catching strategy, based on the data gathered so far, there are two balls I have not mentioned yet.
Safari?
The first is the Master Ball.
Okay, well, I
That
mean, we know
ball
about
is
this one.
very simple.
It catch.
If you use it, the game bypasses any calculations and you succeed automatically.
I could write the code for that right now. If Master Ball equals yes. Okay, I couldn't write it. I got kind of far
You
though.
may have heard it still has a 1 out of 256 chance to miss. That is false. The 1 out of 256 chance, or 0.4%,
Have I been lied to?
miss only applies to move.
So people that said the Master Ball could fail in Gen 1 are Weasley little
What a
liars.
fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
See, in Gen 1, even a move with a theoretical 100% accuracy could miss 1 time out of 256 due to a programming oversight. But the Master Ball check works differently and is thus unaffected. Second, we have the Safari Ball. For all
I
intents
knew
and
it.
purposes, the Safari Ball is an Ultra Ball. Every
Okay.
check in place that looks for an Ultra Ball also looks for a Safari Ball.
All right.
But wait, didn't
Whoa.
we say the Ultra Ball performs badly at max HP? And
We
its
did
main
indeed.
benefit is the status effect bonus?
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean the Ultra Ball is absolutely terrible
Wait.
if you can't use moves on the opposing Pokemon?
Yeah, if you can't status them, that makes the Safari Ball completely useless, which means you would rather have Great Balls than a Safari Ball if you could. But you can't do that in the Safari Zone, making the Safari Zone in Generation 1 ridiculously difficult because they programmed it wrong. It should have been easier, but it wasn't because they only had 5 guys working on Generation 1.
Yes and yes. The rare Pokemon exclusive to the Safari Zone can be a hassle to capture because
But they
of that
should have
very
been
reason.
easier. They were meant to be easier.
The best encounter chance you can get is 4%. And
Oh,
once
God.
you do encounter them,
That's
your
gross.
chance of a successful capture is a measly 6.5%.
that's why I never used any of these in Gen 1. Also, most of these mons are kind of dick in Gen 1. Apart from Tauros. Tauros is really good because it's high speed, but the other ones are kind of dick. Pinsir and Scyther are basically non-existent. They're not worth using because there's like no good bug type moves, and Kangaskhan's kind of mid.
And no, throwing stones or bait is not worth it.
I never did that anyway. I was too scared to throw stones or bait because I thought they would just run away immediately. I was like, I better just throw a ball. You know, I have more of a chance of catching it if I throw a ball. We got scammed in this Var zone.
Another weirdness in Gen 1 catching, and that is the wobbling mechanic.
Oh, and the you missed mechanic as well. That always annoyed me.
If you ever threw a ball at a legendary Pokemon, you may have gotten the message, you missed the Pokemon, and assumed you couldn't catch it.
You can miss?
Yet.
What?
But that message is simply Gen 1 unique version of the Pokemon escaping the ball without wobbling.
Yup.
Even more interesting is that the formula used to calculate...
Actually, thinking about it, it is less frustrating to be like, you missed, because it kind of shows you that the Pokemon trainer isn't infallible. You don't land every single one, because how are you going to land every single one when it's flying around like that? You're not going to be able to do that. And it saves you time because it doesn't go into the ball, not shake, and then break out, which is really frustrating to see. I would rather it just miss, to be honest. Thinking about it now, I actually prefer Generation 1's way of doing
Wobbles does not have randomness to it whatsoever, meaning the number of wobbles you get is actually a rough indicator of your chances to capture the Pokemon.
Okay.
If you don't change the status or HP of the wild Pokemon between throws, you will always get the same number of wobbles. The very system that was supposed to add tension to capture does the exact opposite. If you try to catch a legendary bird where you get no wobbles, the moment the ball connects, you already know you have succeeded, removing any suspense.
Wow.
Now that we know the bizarre ways Gen 1 catching
works. That's
what
weird.
is
I did not know that. I'm learning something new. I
the
swear to
best
God, this game
strategy
has so
to
many
catch
secrets.
Pokemon? Well, against most wild encounters, all you need is a Paras or Parasect with Spore, a stack of Great Balls, and you are golden.
Yes!
Spore has 100% chance to make the Pokemon sleep. The strength of this status, combined with the power of the Great Ball at max HP, and its overall versatility regarding catch rates, makes this ball the absolute best by far. It
Ultra
doesn't
Balls
have
are
the
a
theoretical
scam!
best chance to catch, but it is high enough to remove the hassle of capture without help from
And it's
missing
cheaper
notes,
too.
duplicating Master Ball. How do I know that? I completed a living Pokédex challenge in Pokemon Blue. I caught them
that'd
all.
be
And I
ballic.
can tell you by experience,
did?
the moment I got a Parasect, most of my Great Balls became an instant success.
Nice.
The Ultra Ball still has its use though. Combining it with Sleep against legendary Pokemon is the most efficient. You don't even need to lower HP. The added catch chance is marginal compared to the more than 20% you get from status alone.
Wow, look at that. Max HP, you have a 21.64% chance. If you lower it, it only goes up to 23.75. That's basically no difference. That's insane.
Before going down the rabbit hole on Gen 1 catching mechanics, I always thought the schoolyard tricks of holding B, A and B, B and up, or mashing B while using a ball were silly. Turns out
it's actually correct. Oh, no, never
they
mind.
make as much sense as the actual mechanic. I just wish I could tell my younger self that.
That's really funny.
Also, the Mew glitch. Imagine being the kid who actually knows how to get Mew. Anyway.
Yo, imagine being the kid that discovers the actual Mew glitch that allows it. Yeah, man, you would be the king of the schoolyard. You'd have everyone on their hands and knees begging and praying, teach me how to get Mew, teach me how to get Mew. Well, anyway, that was a wonderful video by Lyra Made Me a Website. I will leave their link in the description. Please go and subscribe to them. Check out their Patreon. They make fantastic videos, really informative stuff. Make sure you subscribe to morepat as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.